Thank you. Myself, Madhuri. So I'm going to handle your Linux session. Okay. So this Linux session is about 30 days. Minimum time period is that 30 to 35 days. Okay. And what is Linux? Before discussing about Linux, can anyone tell what is Linux? Any idea what is Linux? Okay. Linux is an operating system. See, if you can't talk, you can message me also. You can just message on chat. So if you give reply, I can understand how much you are able to understand what I'm explaining. Thank you. So what is Linux means? It is an operating system, right? Exactly. Linux is an operating system. So what is operating system? Can you tell me what is operating system?
Software.
Operating system is an interface between hardware and user. Operating system is an interface between hardware and user. Okay, so after assembling the PC, directly we cannot work with hardware components. We need an interface. In order to interact with hardware components, we need an interface. So operating system is an interface between hardware and user. After purchasing a computer, if you assemble a CPU, you connected everything into your CPU. Directly user cannot access the CPU. After assembling, what we do, we install operating system. Any operating system, we install operating system. Then you can use our hardware hardware environment, right? So similarly, when you purchase a laptop, we install operating system. Nowadays they are installing and giving to us. So operating system is an interface between hardware and users. In order to interact with hardware components, we need an interface. So that is operating system. Then, so we already have Windows operating system. In order to interact with hardware components, as we discussed, we need an operating system. So we already have Windows operating system, which is user-friendly. Okay, GUI mode. Next, finish. Nothing new. Okay, so why Linux? When we already have Windows, why people are switching to Linux operating system? Why all the latest technologies are coming with Linux operating system? Why organizations are switching to Linux operating system when we already have Windows, which is very easy to learn? Why Linux? People are learning Linux, people are switching to Linux, organizations are switching to Linux, and all the technologies are coming with Linux operating system. Why? Any idea? Yes, multi-user. Anything else? Why Linux means? See, before learning about something, we should know why we are learning that. What is the use of that? Yes, security. Very big advantage of Linux is security. So Linux is an operating system which is introduced by Linus Torvalds in 1990. A graduate student introduced this Linux operating system. And he gave this operating system to another organization called OSF, Open Source Foundation. Okay, Penguin is the official symbol for Linux operating system. Done. And these are the distributors of Linux operating system. Not only Red Hat, we have different distributors for Linux operating system. Different vendors, I can say, we have for Linux operating system. These are few. Using unique source code, everyone can release their own operating system because it is open. And these are the versions of Linux operating system. Red Hat versions of Linux operating system. These are the free editions and these are the commercial editions. What is the difference between free edition and commercial editions? Means free edition. So in all Fedora versions, all the Fedora versions are free, open. Anyone can install. No need to take permission from anyone. Okay. And from the year 2000 onwards, Red Hat started releasing commercial editions. Okay, these are the commercial editions. So here also operating system is open, free. You're getting here also operating system is open only. Okay, operating system is open. No need to pay for the operating system, but they will charge for the technical support. You will get technical support for commercial editions and they'll charge for the technical support. In free editions, operating system is free, but you will not get any technical support. In commercial editions, operating system is free. Here also operating system is free, but they will charge for technical support. Charges also less comparing to Windows. Now, features of Linux. Why Linux? My question, what the question I raised is, why Linux? When we already have Windows operating system, why Linux? That is my question, right? So that I'm explaining. And whatever points I'm going to explain now as features of Linux, every point in further classes, I will show you practically also. Okay, every point I'll show practically. And daily, I will give notes also. This is the demo session. But when the classes are started, whatever I'm explaining, I will give notes for that. Running notes will be there. And whatever practicals I'm showing you, whatever the concepts I'm showing you practically, every practical, I will explain. I'll execute the commands. And whatever commands I'm executing, every command notes I will send to you. So once you receive the notes, you can do the practicals. Even you will get the recording videos also. Okay. And one more thing, once you registered, you will get the Telegram link also. Telegram means that is not public Telegram link. Separate Telegram we will create. We created already for our session, for our session. There is a Telegram group. Separate group is there. So once you register, they will add you into that group. Okay, so once you added into the group, if you have any doubts, you can ping me there also. When you are doing the practicals, because the class will be 1 hour session. Once the session is completed, if you are doing the practicals before theory or after theory, if you are doing the practicals, whenever you're free, you're doing the practicals. If you have any issue, any doubt is there, command is not executing something, output is not coming, or theoretically, if you have any doubts, you can ping me on the group, Telegram group. I'll respond there. Okay. So daily, once I complete my class, I'll upload the notes to the Telegram group also. You can ping me there for any support. The group will be permanent. So when after finishing the course also, if you have any doubts, you can ping me there. And in the group only our batch students will be there. Remember? So now coming to our concept, why Linux? Okay, so the first reason why Linux means open source. Source code we get along with the operating system. Source code we get along with the operating system. Operating system is free. Okay, operating system is free here. That is one advantage. License key we are not going to purchase separately. But for other operating systems like Windows, so if you want to install genuine operating system, means first we'll purchase license key. Single user, 3 users, 6 users, depends on number of computers you have in your organization. We purchase license keys. Even nowadays, when you are purchasing new laptops, they're asking us extra 2 to 3,000 for operating system because the license key you need to purchase. That is in Windows. Okay, and here open source code we get along with the operating system, and whatever changes we do in our operating system, it will not affect to other PCs in a network. We can modify the operating system as per our requirement. If you want to do any changes, if you want to change the command, you want to change the view, you want to change the settings, whatever you want to do, you can do. But for that, you should know C++ 100%. Then only you can do. You don't want any programmings, you don't want to do any you don't want to change any program, so no need to know any languages. C++, it is not at all required as an administrator. Okay, so it is open source code we get along with the operating system. We can modify the operating system as per our requirement, but for that C++ should be the 100%. And whatever changes we do in our PC, it will not affect to other PCs in a network. Say 10 PCs are connected into one network. In one PC, you did something changes. Okay, if it is wrong also, that it will not affect to other devices in a network. That is the advantage here. And multitasking. This feature is there in most of the operating systems nowadays. Multitasking means capable of running multiple applications and process at the same time. Multiple applications you can run at a time. You want to open Adobe Reader, you can open. In the same time, you want to open Team Viewer, you can open. You want to open any test, you can open. You want to open VMware software, you can open. You want to open, you want to listen the songs, you can listen. Like multiple tasks can be done. That option is there in all the operating system, not only Linux. Nowadays, it is available in most of the operating systems. So that feature is there in Linux also. Multitasking. Next is multi-user. Multi-user means, what is this multi-user means? If, for example, we have types of operating systems. How many types of operating systems are there? Anyone can tell that? How many types of operating systems are there?
Windows,
Any idea?
Linux,
Yeah. Anything else?
CentOS,
Okay. 95, 98, ME, NT, XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 9, Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows 12, Windows 2023, 2020, 2008, 2010, server operating system 2012, 2017, Linux, Unix, Solaris, Mac, Jetmac, USB 390, CentOS. These are all list of operating systems. We have different list of operating systems. So many operating systems are there. More than 145 operating systems are there. But I'm not asking the list of operating system. My question is types of operating systems. Types in operating system, not list of operating system. Types of operating system is there are three types. What are they? Single user, single task. Single user, multitask. Multi-user, multitask. So there are three types of operating system. Single user, single task means only one user can log in into computer and that user can perform only one task. That is called single user, single task. Example for single user, single task is DOS, disk operating system. The first operating system we have is DOS. That is single user, single task. One user can log in and that user can perform only one task. If they open one application, again they want to open any other application, they cannot open that. That is called single user, single task. And second is single user multitask. It means here also, how many users list it is displaying. Still, you can log in as only one user, but that user can perform multiple tasks. They can listen songs, they can watch movie, they can open multiple applications, they can do multitasking. That is called multitask. But at a time, only one user can log in. If one user is already logged in, they want to log in as another user. First, they log out from one user, then they will log in into another user. That is single user multitask. Are you getting what I am explaining? Can you guys respond once? It is message there. Done. Thank you. So single user multitask. Here, how many users list it is displaying? Still, you can log in as only one user. But that user can perform multiple tasks. Okay, so example, Windows. Single user multitask. So it is showing the list of users also. We'll click on only one user account. But there we do multiple tasks. Right. If you want to log in into another user means first we log out from one user, then we log in into another user. That is why single user multitask. And next one is multi-user multitask. Multi-user multitask means here multiple users can log in at a time and that users can perform multiple tasks. I'm repeating. In multi-user multitask means multiple users can log in at a time and every user can perform multiple tasks. Okay, so already we logged in as one user. Without logging out from that user, you can log in into another user and you can perform your tasks. Okay, so that is multi-user multitasking. More than 40,000 users can log in at a time and they can run their own task in multi-user multitasking operating system. So what is the example for multi-user multitask means? That is Linux. So this is also advantage of Linux. Multi-user multitask. Multiple users can log in at a time and that users can perform their own task. This point also I will show you practically. As I told, every point I will show you practically in further sessions. Not in a single day, one by one, all the features I will show you practically also. So, multi-user, multitask. Linux works with multiple users and every user can perform multiple tasks. So, this is also one of the advantages or feature of Linux. And next one is portability. Portability means can be installed on all hardware architecture. Any special hardware environment is not at all required here. It works with any hardware environment. Say for example, you have one server called AIX, which is used in IBM. IBM uses AIX server. Okay. So if you want to install AIX server means there we need all IBM hardware environment only. There only we can go with AIX server. So like that, we have some operating systems which uses their own hardware architecture. But Linux works with any hardware environment. Not only Linux, even Windows also works with any hardware environment. Okay, so portability can be installed on all hardware environment. Also, if we have least hardware environment also, very least hardware environment is there also, you can use Linux operating system. 512 MB RAM is there. Okay, 40 GB hard disk is there. There also you can install Linux operating system. So that is also feature of Linux. And scalability. Same operating system can be used on a desktop to a supercomputer. Normal desktop PC to supercomputer operating system is same in Linux. This is also feature of Linux. Say for example, if you take Windows, see one more point. I'm taking Windows as an example always just to understand easily because we all know about Windows operating system, how it will work. So if I take Windows as an example, you will imagine and you will understand the concept. So that is the reason I'm taking Windows as an example. Okay. So in Windows, we have two types of operating systems: client operating system, server operating system. So there are two types of operating systems in Windows. Client means what? Which request for the services. Server means which provides requested services. I'm repeating. In Windows, there are two types of operating system: client operating system, server operating system. Client, server. Client means what? Which request for the services. Server means which provides requested services. So two types. So client operating system is separate, server operating system is separate. Client operating systems means 95, 98, ME, XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11 or the client operating systems. What other server operating systems are there in Windows means? NT, 2000, 2003, 2008, 2012, 2016, 17 server operating systems are there. Okay, so client operating system is separate, server operating system is separate. If you want to be Windows administrator means you should know completely about server operating system and client operating system. You already installed client operating system, Windows 10 operating system or Windows 11 operating system. You installed in your computer. There you want to configure anything servers like FTP, DNS, DHCP, like this. Any services if you want to configure, you cannot configure there. In order to configure this type of services, we need server operating system. So what to do? Remove client operating system and then we'll install server operating system. That is in Windows. So you want to be administrator for Windows means you should know perfectly about two operating systems. What operating system we are using in our laptops or desktop PCs? The same operating system you are not going to use in server computer. That is different. Now coming to Linux. So here we have only single operating system. Operating system is same for client PCs as well as server PCs. In our laptops and desktop, which operating system we are using? The same operating system we use in server computers also. Operating system is same. Options are same. Settings are same. So now you have one laptop, you install Linux operating system and that laptop you are using for normal purpose, for creating files, data storing purpose, watching movies, you are using it. All of a sudden you want to install something server like FTP, DNS, DHCP, something you want to configure, Apache, web services you want to configure. So there only you can install directly. You can configure directly. No need to remove that operating system because in Linux operating system is one for client PCs and server PCs. So what operating system we are using now in our laptops or desktop? The same operating system we use in servers also. So on what operating system you are doing all the practice, everything, the same operating system we use in real time also. So that is the advantage, scalability. Same operating system can be used on a desktop to supercomputer. Okay, reliability, because no downtime, 24/7, it will work without any restart. Large servers have been successfully being running without any downtime. Okay, so a single second of downtime also not there in Linux because no need to restart even. Coming to Windows, if you do any changes, if you install any software, if you uninstall any software, even if you update your antivirus also, it will ask you to restart the computer. If you are using genuine operating system, if your PC is connected to internet, if you observe before you restart the computer or shut down the computer, it will give you some option. It will give you some message pop-up you will get. New patches are ready to install. Do you wish to update? You will get it. Right. Same like our mobiles. Now we are getting the patches in our mobiles also, updates. So in our system also you will get updates. Genuine operating system when you are using and when your PC is connected to internet, Microsoft people will send updates. Okay, in technical terminology, we call it as patches. So when we install that patches, it will ask you to either restart the computer or shut down the computer. Right. So something you are working, when you are running the patches updates, it will ask you to restart. If you restarted the computer means it will stop all the background process also. Right. So for example, in organizations means every Thursday or Friday, Microsoft people will send patches, updates. So once administrator received the patches, they will update that patches. Okay, so before updating the patches, they will give the information to all the users, end users, employees, everyone. That downtime information, they will send the mails like 15 minutes downtime, half an hour downtime. They will send the information to employees. Because once they install the patches, it will ask them to restart the computer. Okay, if they restarted the computer, all the programs, all the applications, whatever running in the server, it will stop everything and again it will on. We need to on manually everything. Right? So that is downtime. That is the reason before updating the patches, they will give the information to all the employees. Because there will be a downtime for some seconds or minutes. If you observe, whenever you are doing any online transactions like Google Pay, Phone Pay, or Paytm something, when you are doing any online transactions, sometimes we will get the message like server is down temporarily. Right? So if the main server is running, mainframes we use. So in ATMs, all the ATMs are connected to mainframes. So if your server is restarted, so that is downtime only, right? That is the reason sometimes you will see server is down temporarily like that. That messages will see because there we need restart. But Linux, wherever we are using Linux operating system, without restarting, we can update into kernel. Internally, if there is any updates, we can do everything without restarting the computer. So how to update without restarting the computer, that also I will show you practically in further classes. So this is also one of the reason why Linux means. And next point is security. Linux is secure. Why Linux is secure? And before that security point, first tell me, previous points are clear? Scalability, reliability, the points are clear, everyone? Done. If any point is not clear, you can ask me. Definitely, I will repeat the concept. Remember, in the classroom also, when I'm explaining something, if you're not clear in the point, if practically or theoretically, if any point is not clear or something command I'm executing, you're not clear on it, you can ask me, I will repeat again. Remember that. This is not at all free course. We will charge. So you can ask me whatever questions you have. Remember that. So now security. Linux is secure. Linux is secure because inbuilt IP tables are there. IP table means firewalls. In Windows, we call firewall. Here we call IP tables. This feature is there in many operating systems nowadays. So in Linux also we have that option. Whenever you want, you can enable, we can disable this option. Okay. In other operating systems, we call it as firewall. Here we call it as IP tables. Inbuilt IP tables are there to secure networking files. And also SC Linux is there, Secured Enhanced Linux. It is used to secure local files. Okay, this also I will show you practically next classes. So Linux is secure. One reason, inbuilt IP tables are there, firewalls are there, and SE Linux is there to secure our local files and network files. That is the one point. Second point, why Linux is secure? Linux is secure because it works with command line interface. If you want to log in into our computer, if you want to create file, if you want to delete file, if you want to create a folder, delete the folder, if you want to check the content of your file, for everything we use commands only. So those who know commands, they only can configure something. They only can access your computer. Without knowing commands, no one can access your computer. That is security only, right? Linux works with commands only, but don't think it is difficult. No need to remember all the commands because every command I will give notes. And Linux is interesting, not at all difficult. Okay, so Linux is secure. Another reason is it works with command line interface. Those who know the commands, they only can configure, they only can access the computers, Linux computers. Next reason, another reason why Linux is secure. Third point, Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. No next finish, no auto runs in Linux, so it is secure. Fourth point, Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Without password, we cannot access any user account. Okay, for every user, password authentication is compulsory. So that is also one reason why Linux means. And next point, Linux is secure because we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Encryption means converting the original data into secure format, which no one can understand. So we can encrypt our files by assigning password. Once a file is encrypted by assigning password, others cannot access our file. If someone is trying to check the content of our file, it will show the content in encrypted format, which no one can understand. If someone is trying to open our file, it will ask for the password. Without entering the password, they cannot open our file. So this is also one reason why Linux is secure. And about this encryption, how to encrypt a file by assigning password. This concept also, this point also will show you in practical. Okay, so we have a concept of VIM, VA editor concept is there. At that time, I will explain this practically. So Linux is secure. We can encrypt a file by assigning password. That is also one of the reason. Okay, another point. Linux is secure because there is no setup files in Linux. If you want to install any servers, there is no setup files, no next finish. Everything we need to configure manually. Yeah, ACL concept also there. Access control is concept is there. In permissions, I will explain about ACLs. So that concept, maybe it will take 1 week time almost ACL. So Linux is secure because no setup files. If you want to install any servers, if you want to install any softwares, you will not get any setup file. Everything you will get as a configuration file. So we need to configure manually everything. As an administrator, what we configure, your system accepts that only. And we can encrypt that configuration file also. Once the file is encrypted by administrators, so others cannot check the content of our file. They cannot do any changes because it is encrypted by assigning password. So that is also one reason why Linux is secure. I'm repeating, Linux is secure because inbuilt firewalls and SC Linux is there. Linux is secure because it works with command line interface. Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Linux is secure because there is no setup files. Everything you will get as a configuration file. We need to configure everything manually. And we can encrypt configuration file also. SE Linux means secured enhanced Linux. It is used to secure our local files. Okay, so that also will show. So these points are clear why Linux is secure. So SC Linux we use while sharing the data. I will show you in further classes. Local files when you are trying to share, it will block others to others in order to access the files. By default, there is no permission. We need to enable it SC Linux because it disables everything. I will show it practically. It is very small and simple concept and important also. You will understand very easily. And remember, Linux is very easy. It is not at all difficult. Very easily you can understand Linux. Just concentrate what I'm explaining. Enough. Not even required to listen recording again. You will get everyday recording videos, but not at all required. Linux is very interesting. Daily, when I'm explaining theory and when I'm showing the practical, if you just follow that, that is enough. Practical steps, I will send you notes. Okay, so that if you are following to do the practicals, enough. Not even required recording videos. I'm sure about that. But if you want to refer, you can. You'll get the recording videos. Okay. So these are the few reasons why Linux means. Is this clear, everyone? And one more thing. Performance-wise, comparing to Windows, Linux is fast. Comparing to Windows, Linux is fast performance-wise. Two reasons are there. Main reasons are two. One is Linux works with command line interface. Black screen with white fonts. It doesn't require any graphics. Graphics are optional here. It's not required compulsory. So, when it is not using graphics, your processor will work fast. Okay, so graphical user interface is option here in Linux. But coming to Windows, everything is in graphics only. Colors we require GUI mode. We use GUI mode only in Linux, graphical user interface. To open a notepad, to open a folder, whatever we want to do, everything is in colors. Colorfully, you can see everything. So in order to show everything colorfully, processor will use graphic card. In all the pieces, there is a default graphic card. And if you want, we install separately also graphic card. If you are doing any animations, if you install Maya software like that, we insert separately graphic card also. Because default graphic card is not supported. If you are going to do any animation workspace, there we insert separately graphic card also. Right. So processor will work slowly because it works with graphics. It required graphic. It will do the process every time. Okay. So that's one reason. And another thing is there is a concept of swap memory. Swap memory means virtual memory. Virtual memory. Swap memory means virtual memory. Swap memory is used to increase the speed of RAM, physical RAM. If your RAM size is 1 GB in your computer, we can create virtual memory with 2 GB, and that 2 GB space you can add to RAM. Already 1 GB RAM is there. If you are adding 2 GB means what? 1 plus 2, 3 GB. So your system will work with 3 GB. So that is also one of the reason why performance wise it is fast comparing to Windows. What is this swap memory? This concept we'll discuss while installing the operating system. I will explain about this concept, swap memory concept. While installing the operating system, creation of swap memory is compulsory. So I will explain at that time. And also we have the separate concept of swap memory. After almost 10-15 days, we have the class for the swap memory also. At that time also I'll explain about this swap memory. Okay, so performance wise comparing to Windows, Linux is fast. Okay, one reason is it works with command line interface. Another reason is swap memory, which is used to increase the speed of RAM. That is also one reason. Okay, so another concept. The last point I'll explain about this. See, assume I have two computers. One is Windows computer, another one is Linux computers. Yeah, good evening, Kanakeshwar Reddy garu. I will explain real-time I will show you everything in real-time environment, how we work, how the servers are working. That also will show you. And how we create website. That also I will show you practically in the classroom. Okay. Now coming to this concept, I have two PCs, one Windows machine, one Linux machine. Okay. So what is computer first of all? What is computer? Any idea what is computer?
Combination of like memory, RAM, CPU, input and output devices.
Yeah, right. So simply we can say computer is an electronic device. Simple answer. It is an electronic device, right? We can say like that. What is the function of computer? What is the function of computer means? It takes input from input devices, do the process and gives output through output devices. Right. I'm repeating computer. It is an electronic device. Any computer, any vendor computer you are using, it is an electronic device. That's it. Simple. What is the function of computer? Function of computer, any vendor computer you are using, function is it takes input from input devices, do the process and gives output through output devices. That is a function of your computer. Right. So how it will do the process, that is depends on the operating system what we are using. Say for example, you have one Windows computer. Okay, whenever you are giving any input like 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 3, a plus b, whatever input we are giving, we call it as utility. It will send that to shell. What is shell? Shell is an interface between hardware and user. It is an interface between user and hardware. So whenever user is giving any input, shell receives that input, it converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware environment. Shell converts the user understanding language into machine understanding language. Because system can understand, computer can understand only zeros and ones. So whenever you give any input into zeros and ones, and it transfers the data to hardware environment. So the function of shell is only converting into zeros and ones. It will not check what data we sent. Something data you are sending, which is not supported by hardware environment. It converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware. You connected pen drive. The pen drive is infected with virus. Shell converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware environment. It will not check what it is sending. Something softwares you downloaded. Some softwares you downloaded. Okay, it converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware environment. It will not check whether that softwares are not supported by hardware environment or not. It will not check for anything. Compatibility is there or not. It will not check anything. Sometimes when you are browsing, it automatically open new browser. From that new browser, it downloads some tools automatically. Or if you click on any link, sometimes it downloads some exe files automatically. Right? If the software infected with virus also, it converts into zeros and ones, it transfers to hardware environment. It is supported by hardware environment or not. Virus is coming or not. It will not check for anything. That is the reason now inbuilt antivirus softwares also they are giving. While installing the operating system, they are installing antivirus and they are giving it. Okay, but once the time period is completed after 1 year, we are not updating it properly. We are not doing any proper scannings. That is the reason Windows PCs are infecting with virus. But coming to Linux. In Linux, here also, whenever you are giving any input, okay, here we give input with commands. Whenever we give any input in Linux also, that input it transfers to shell. Now what shell will do? It converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to kernel. What is this kernel? Kernel is an interface between shell and hardware. So before transferring the data to hardware environment, first kernel checks the data. If the data is supported by hardware environment, then it transfers the data to hardware. If the data is not supported by hardware environment, it rejects back to shell. Something, files you are sending, the files are not supported by hardware environment. Super user authentication is not there. Administrator permission is not there. It will reject back. Some exe files are downloading. Exe is not supported by Linux. It rejects back. You connected a pen drive. The pen drive is infected with virus. Shell converted into zeros and ones and transferred to kernel. Kernel rejects back to shell again. Because hardware doesn't require virus. And something software you're downloading, that software is not supported by hardware. It rejects back. So this is also one of the reasons why Linux is secure. We can say Linux is free from virus free because of this kernel. Virus free. You can say this is also one feature of Linux. Virus free because of kernel. Kernel shell in Linux we use /bin/bash shell scripting we are using. Kernel VM kernel we are using. These are inbuilt in our operating system. A software which is inbuilt in our operating system. Linux operating system. Kernel. Okay, we are using VM kernel. So this is also one reason why Linux means. Is this clear, everyone? What we discussed is clear, everyone? So these are the some of the features of Linux. Why Linux means these are the features of Linux. Okay, so that is the reason. Because of these reasons, people are switching to Linux operating system. And whatever I explained as features of Linux, that I will show you practically in further sessions. Okay, so as this is only demo session, I just give the features of Linux. That's it. Okay, so am I going fast? You're able to understand what I'm explaining because you will be with me almost 1 month. Monday to Friday classes will be there. Saturday, Sunday is off. But on Saturday, Sunday also, if you are doing the practicals, if you have any queries, you can message me on Telegram group. I will reply there. Okay, so if there is any holiday is there, off is there to class, I will let you know. Before only I will let you know. And coming to concepts which we are going to discuss is first is demo session, which we completed. Okay. Introduction to Linux and file system hierarchy. I will explain in next class, next session. And from tomorrow, you can maintain the notes also. If you want to maintain a proper notes, you can maintain the notes. If you maintain, that will be good also for you. Next. OS installation, I will explain. I'm not showing day wise. I'm just showing the concepts which I'm going to complete. Yeah, same curriculum. What is there in the website, same we are going to cover here also. OS installation. Next, basic commands we are going, like how to create a file, how to create a folder, how to copy, how to paste, how to delete. This all we'll discuss there. It will take almost 2 days time. VA editor. This is an important tool we use in real time for creating the files. This I will explain separately. User administration. How to create a user, how many types of users are there, how to delete, how to modify. This all we'll see. What is the use of user? Group administration, how to create a group, how to add users into that group, how to modify the group. This all we'll see separately. Then basic file permissions. By default, our files and directories folders will come with default permissions. What are they? How to modify the permissions that we'll discuss there. And next, advanced file permissions as ACL, access control list, we'll discuss. And changing the ownerships also we'll discuss there. And next, partitions. How to create partitions after entering to the operating system, that we'll see. Then swap memory will discuss. How to create virtual memory will discuss. Okay. And in middle, some concepts also I'll explain, small concepts. Password recovery. Logical volume manager, LVMs, which are used in real time. Okay. And then RAID concept. That is the server hard disk. About that we'll discuss. The network introduction. Like network tools, like how to assign the IP address. This all we'll see there. And then backup and restore. How to take the backup of our data, how to restore the back, that we'll see. Next, package management. Package managers are used for installing, uninstalling, updating, and checking the packages. About that we'll discuss. Okay, so in package management, we'll discuss about RPM and YUM. We'll discuss. Okay, then YUM configuration, NFS server, data sharing servers. We'll discuss NFS, FTP, how to share the data. We'll discuss using these 3 servers separately. We'll discuss about this one day time, one day. It will take the time. Okay. So I can say this is 21, 22, 23 concepts. Okay. Next, DHCP, assigning IP address automatically by using DHCP server. Then DNS server. Then Apache server. Okay. Then link files. Okay, these are the most of the points which I'm going to explain. Some more concepts also like cron job. So these are the some important concepts, run levels and booting process. Okay, so this all I will explain. The important concepts. In middle, some more concepts also I will explain. These are the important concepts which we are going to learn. Okay, so is this clear? So this is about today's session. We'll meet you tomorrow. Thank you for the session. Any queries you can let me know now. You can message me. I will respond definitely. And classes, I will go slowly only. I will not explain anything fastly. Every time, once I complete, I will ask you if there is any doubt. You can ask me. I will repeat the concept. Not only after finishing the concept, while explanation only. If you are not clear what I'm explaining, you can ask me. I will repeat for sure. No doubt on it. Okay. Shell scripting, basic shell scripting, I will explain here. Basic shell scripting, I will explain, not completely. Shell scripting is separate course. If you want, you can go for that also. Okay. And even today evening, there is a CCNA demo session, but evening at 9 p.m. If you want, you can join there also for 9 p.m. CCNA demo. Ticketing tools, brief explanation. I will give in middle of the concept, and if I have any time in middle, it will take some time. I'll explain about that. Yeah, CCNA demo is there 9 p.m. today. So there are free link is there in, you can log in from there. One moment, I'll give the link. I'll ask them to send the link to to you. You'll get the link. There is a link in website. You can access from there.
Is it Indian standing timings or like our US standing timings? Like I'm from USA.
Indian time, 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Okay. For me, like
Yeah,
around 30 a.m. Right. Okay.
yeah.
I
Why you
think
want in US timing?
yes. Actually, I think the 9 p.m. Timing will not work for me. Like it will be like 10:30 CST morning to me. On the time I have a call with our team every day, like a
Okay.
stand up. So that I think it's
Achcha.
not.
Okay, do one thing. Your flexible timings, just inform to admin team because I
Okay.
already have two students from US.
Okay.
One is in Dubai, another person is in UK. So even they are asking for the morning time, Indian time. So you just
Yeah.
inform to admin department. So they'll
Okay.
schedule as per that.
Okay. Yeah, I think for us like Indian like morning timings in Indian EST will works to
Okay.
for the UA or USA also or Canada people.
Okay. Just inform to admin team. They will schedule the timings.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
So this is for today's session. We'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah, we will meet tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Sai, course content of what you want?
Means in that course, what we will cover, just ask.
Which course? CCNA?
No, Linux administration means configurations like HTTPD and Tomcat and all our installations. I just joined.
Yeah, I
So
mentioned here the concepts which are there in website, in Durgasoft website, the concepts we are discussing. Some concepts I told here. One moment. Hello. So the concepts which are mentioned in the website, you just go through that also. Here also I mentioned some points. That points also we are going to cover.
Okay.
Even CCNA also in the website, the course content is there.
Okay.
Okay. So thanks again, everyone, one more time. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for the session. And
Yes,
tomorrow,
CCM class has started, right?
yes.
Today.
Sorry?
CCM class already started, right? On today or yesterday? It
Today
started.
CCNA demo session is starting. Demo
Okay.
means I will start the class today.
Okay, got it.
Like basics I
Hello.
will explain today, 9 p.m.
Okay.
Hello, Kankeshwar here.
Yeah.
I can see the curriculum in the website is like basics of Unix or Linux, Linux administration, and Linux networking. Under those heads,
Linux Mhm.
yeah, Linux
Yeah.
administration is the head. Those topics will cover, right?
Yeah, Linux administration. What we are discussing is about Linux administration.
Yeah, correct. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
In Linux, they will explain shell scripting will be there.
No. I'm asking is here under Linux administration, there are three heads.
Okay.
Basics of Unix or Linux, and Linux administration, and Linux networking.
Yeah,
Those
Linux
topics will,
administration and Linux network concepts also we are going to cover.
yes. Okay. That I
Yeah.
want to confirm. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.